Crop dusters fly between 5 and 10 feet off the ground at 150 miles per hour. Think about that for a second. You know, they're navigating through power lines and trees and farm equipment while making passes over fields, and they pull up into steep climbing turns at the end of each road to avoid hitting anything. One mistake at that height means zero time to recover, which is why agricultural pilots have a death rate about 4 times higher than the rest of the aviation industry. The whole thing started in 1921 when they tried spraying lead arsenic over some crops to kill weevils. It worked so well that by 1923 it was commercially available, and they hired all the World War I pilots because these guys craved the excitements of flying that low that fast. Later they hired World War II pilots too, adapting bomber tactics, low-level bomb runs to spread pesticides and fertilizers. The hopper that holds chemicals sits right where the bombs would have been carried. A single crop duster can treat 12,000 acres in one day. Modern ag aircraft carry between 400 and 800 gallons of liquid chemicals, and pilots make multiple trips back to the airstrip to reload every 15 to 20 minutes. The aircraft dumps its entire load in about 2 to 3 minutes of flying, and ground crews have refills ready so pilots can turn around in under 5 minutes. During peak season, one pilot can service 20 to 30 farms in a single day. A Grumman Ag Cat was the Ford truck of the crop dusting from 1957 to 1979. Everybody who did it had to have one of those. It was designed specifically for agricultural use, and many of them are still operating 60 years later. Today, they use GPS-guided systems to drop their chemicals, and those systems can keep them within 10 inches of their target. There's about 1,200 businesses in the U.S. that do crop dusting, and it represents about a $4 billion industry between the production and selling of the planes, the storage, the fueling, and the actual crop dusting. Because of that death rate, insurance rates are huge, especially for people under 30. They don't typically let people under 30 do it. The youngest pilots are about 30, not because there aren't younger pilots for it, but on average, they're typically over 30 because of the cost of insurance. Did I mention that the cost of insurance was very high? Early pilots had to wear goggles and cloth masks because the toxic chemicals they sprayed would blow back at them. And when they were flying, they had no protection from the chemicals at all.